Hi everyone, my name's Alicia and this is my personal philosophy. When I was in elementary school, I found my most memorable years were grades 5 and 6. I had the same teacher for both grades, and her method of teaching was something I really responded to as a child and as a learner. I remember instead of having individual desks, we had tables set up around the classroom and we got to choose a new spot to sit every day. This teacher almost never stood at the front of the class teaching on a chalkboard or on a projector like my other teachers did. This teacher actually let us have hands-on learning experiences. Instead of learning about the life cycle of a larva out of a textbook, we all individually got a live larva and got to watch it grow every day, and we documented what we saw in our journals. Ever since then, I have found that I am a visual and an active learner, and I personally think creating an encouraging child-centered environment and allowing children opportunities for independent exploration is the best way of teaching. After taking this course, I'm able to identify myself as a humanist and a progressivist. Don't get me wrong, I don't think children can learn everything through independent exploration, which is why I believe in using Vygotsky's scaffolding method. This allows children to build new information on top of what they already know, and our job as a facilitator is to guide the child and provide tools or strategies to help them achieve their goals. The model of curriculum plan approach I believe in using is Reggio Emilia. Before taking this course, I honestly had never heard of this approach, but after learning about it, I've decided that this is definitely the approach I believe in the most. As we all know, Reggio Emilia bases its philosophy on children having control, allowing children to learn through hands-on experiences, having a relationship with other children and materials, and allowing children endless opportunities to express themselves. The reason I believe in using this curriculum approach is because each child views experiences differently. Therefore, allowing them to have control over their learning allows them to choose the method that allows them to learn best. I also think that teaching based off of the children's interests is extremely important. The reason I think this is because I think if a child has absolutely no interest in what they're learning, they're not going to pay attention or want to take in any information about that. Personally, I believe all children learn based on their experiences. I mostly base this off how I was as a child and the way I still am as an adult. No matter how many times someone would tell me something, I would never fully take it in unless I experienced it. I mean, what I was told would always be in the back of my head, but I always had to find out for myself. A few examples of this is something as simple as being told to wear a coat because it's cold outside. Until I actually went outside and felt how cold it was, I really didn't think I needed a coat. Another reason I believe in using the Reggio Emilia approach is because it looks at the importance of play. As a child, I was always playing and always using my imagination, and I think that really had an effect on shaping me into who I am today. As a child, I found myself mostly playing house with dolls and pretending I was a teacher. I would always have a clipboard with a list of names and pretend I had a class, even though I was the only one in the room. Now, 19 years later, I'm achieving my dream of being an educator. Until I had experience working with children in my placements, I really wasn't sure the best way to interact with children. But after 4 placements working with all different ages of children, I feel like you have to know each child as an individual to know the best way to interact with them. The strategies I found most effective with most children is asking them to promoting questions. This allows the child to think further and base their answer on what they think. Another strategy I like to use is allowing the children to problem solve. When I first started my placements, I really had a difficult time getting the children to problem solve on their own. Every time they would ask me to put on their coat, I would. When 2 children had a problem, I would go over and solve it for them. Now, I simply use the scaffolding method to help the children. Some examples of this would be if 2 children are having a problem, you tell them to use their words and to tell each other what they want. This allows the child to learn to communicate their needs. Another example would be when a child needs help putting on their coat. Instead of putting it on for them, show them a strategy they can use to put it on themselves. The strategy I like to use the best with the children is the flip, which is laying their coat upside down in front of them and allowing to flip it over their head. These strategies align with my personal philosophy because they involve allowing the child to develop new skills and begin working towards new ones. Thanks for listening.